Hi there, Kate Petty with LG. I'm the CreateBoard specialist and trainer, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at Windows OPS on the CreateBoard itself. And before I get into the demo, let's just talk a little bit about what OPS means, because I'll probably say that a lot during the demo. So essentially on the CreateBoards, there's a little slot on the side, and organizations can choose to put a small computer on the side of that, whether it's Windows or Chrome for a Chromebook. And your organization has chosen to put in a Windows device on the side of this CreateBoard so that when you change input to PC, you literally now have a Windows computer at your fingertips. When you sign in with your own account, you'll see all of your documents and things that are associated with your Microsoft account on the board for easy access. So with that, let's take a look at the overview of what it looks like. Just kind of remember where everything is and kind of see that it really is mimicking your own Windows device on your laptop. Hi there. All right, this is the Windows 11 desktop on the CreateBoard Windows OPS. And as you can see, it's set kind of at its default. So this is that default image for the desktop, this kind of blue, fluffy, ruffly thing in the middle. You have your taskbar at the bottom with everything that you really need in the middle here. So there's the Windows icon, the search bar, and then some pinnable apps. On the right-hand side, we have the time and date, the volume, the Wi-Fi. I'm using a microphone right now, so it's showing that. And then this is where you actually have your keyboard. So if it is set so that if you type something like I'm going to tap search, I'm going to close my keyboard. I'm going to tap search and then tap search one more time. The keyboard should launch when it recognizes you want to type something. But if for some reason it doesn't, you can always launch your keyboard using the little keyboard icon in the right-hand corner. All right, so let's take a look at some of these icons and Windows options in the middle. I am going to tap on the Windows icon to the left of the search bar. This is going to give me my pinned startup apps. So these are the ones that maybe I use the most and I wanted more frequent access to. Now, obviously, the ones that are in the taskbar are the easiest to get to. These are the second easiest. If you don't see the app that you want in this window, you go to All Apps on the right-hand corner here, and you'll be able to scroll through all the apps you want. This is also where you'll be able to take something like, let's see, photos. And I can choose to unpin or pin from the start button here. If I go back, I can actually make one of these be pinned on the bottom. I'll put my file explorer there. And then if I hold down on the bottom where the file icon opened, I can pin that to the taskbar. And now I've got my files even easier to access here at the bottom. A couple of other things in the Windows icon are, if you look on the top row of my pinned apps here on the right-hand side is settings. Now we do have a video on the top 5 settings we need you to look at immediately. So please, after this video, watch that one and consider everything we're suggesting in that top 5. However, I would suggest you look through all of these settings. Sometimes settings that you have on your laptop, a smaller screen, don't make as much sense as maybe a setting might make way more sense on this CreateBoard. So go through the settings, play around with them, see if maybe you can initiate something that might help your workflow on the CreateBoard itself. Okay, so we've looked at the desktop, the Windows key pinnable apps, and the keyboard. The next thing I want to show you is the Microsoft Store. So I'm going to go ahead and launch that. Now, your organization, every organization is different. Some IT departments like to keep access to the Microsoft Store in IT and push out apps to teachers. And some organizations let the teachers, install whatever apps that they want for their own classroom. So you may have access to this, you may not, but there is one app that I would strongly suggest you get. And if you don't have access to the store, please ask your administrator, and that is the Microsoft Whiteboard. I'm going to pull it up here just because I want you to see what it looks like. So this Whiteboard app is wonderful. I'll show you it in just a second, but it is part of your Microsoft suite, which means that anything you do, any board you create in the Microsoft Whiteboard, you're actually going to be saving it. It automatically saves in your OneDrive account, just like a Microsoft Word or PowerPoint document would. And you'll be able to access that immediately. It just automatically saves. You'll be able to access that in your Microsoft Suite and then attach it to the LMS or anything you want to do with it. So there's no extra things you need to do, like save it or email it to yourself or anything like that. It's not a separate account. It is part of your Microsoft Suite. So I'm going to go ahead and close Microsoft Store and open the Microsoft app or whiteboard app here. I have it pinned on the bottom, and it's going to initiate and ask me, it's going to give me my history. I'm going to create a new board and take a look at what it starts off with. It asks you if you want to use any of these really cool templates, graphic organizers and designs. So there are all sorts of ones that you can go around and play with. You might even create, if you want, have the students create ways to use some of these that you didn't even think of. But I'm going to close this because I just want the board. And here is the whiteboarding board. I'm going to go to the pen app here. I tap it twice. Let's see, I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to select it one more time. I'm pretty happy with those settings. So then I can say hello, and that'll be in my whiteboarding app. And I can do all of the, note taking that I want. Now, what happens if I want to do some note taking on one side of the board with the students and maybe watch a YouTube video or go through an article on the other side of the board? It's really easy to snap windows from one side to the other. It's really a nice feature of Microsoft. All I'm going to do is take the top of I'm going to minimize it. I'm going to take the top of the board and I'm going to push it up against the frame. So I'm pushing it to the right. My finger's actually touching the frame of the TV. And you see that when I do that, it gives kind of that shadow effect of, do you want it in the corner? So I had tapped it up. So I've got this layout of 4. I don't want 4. I want half and half. So now I'm going to move it more to the middle, and it's giving me the option for the middle. And it's going to say, hey, what do you want to put on the other side? Now I know Edge is a Microsoft browser, but I actually use Google Chrome on mine. So you've got that. Now I'll show you that one more time. I'm just holding it at the very top of where that black bar is on Microsoft whiteboard. And I'm going to snap it up here for the 4 grid. And it's not working. Let me do that. There we go. It's for the 4 grid. Or I can snap it in the middle for the half grid. And then if I want to snap it and have it whole screen again, I can always use the maximize button, or I kind of snapped it into the middle. But in any case, all of these, I'm holding on to the bar at the top, and I'm actually touching the frame of my my Create board. I'm pushing it all the way to the side. So if I want it in quadrants, I'm going to push it to the upper right-hand corner or left-hand corner, but it needs to be the upper part. If I want side by side, I'm pushing it straight to the middle of the board, and it'll give me the side-by-side view. All right, so that's it for the different things on the Microsoft overview. We've gone through the desktop, the Windows key, the Pinnable apps, keyboard, Microsoft Store. We looked at Microsoft Whiteboard, and we've taken a look at how to snap 2 windows next to each other so that you can do 2 different things using a view at the same time. All right, so that is the Windows overview for the Windows 11 slot in OPS on your Create board. We took a look at the desktop, we looked at that taskbar, the Windows key, some pinnable apps, keyboard. We checked out the Microsoft Store for just a little bit, and I begged you to go get that Microsoft Whiteboard app. Next up, we have a couple of videos. The first one is the top 5 settings we really want you to pay attention to and adjust as you're setting up your Windows OPS. And the second one is different ways that we can customize that Windows OPS to make it just put your own spices and flavors in it. So we'll see you next time.